Hi, this is Cindy Cochran. Welcome to the archives of the Cindy Cochran Show. Remember, I'm live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11, right here on IRLoneStar.com. You can be a part of the show by calling 936-647-3776. Also, please visit my Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show. And let me say a special thanks to our show sponsors, BK Meyer Photography. If you would like to be a sponsor of The Cindy Cochran Show, contact me at cindy@IRLoneStar.com. Enjoy! Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Friday, and you're listening to The Cindy Cochran Show. And we're here every morning. We've been here since Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and today is Friday, and the countdown continues. Not to Christmas, but to Star Wars. And I just wonder if it's been so... If we watch that trailer, 100 more times before the movie comes on, are we going to be so sick of it or feel like we've already seen the best parts of it or whatever?
I'm wondering if you took every product placement, not product placement, more of product advertising using Star Wars and put it in a room, how big of the room needs to be. Because I saw Campbell's Soup the other day.
They're bundling with everybody.
Everything.
Yeah.
And
that's just amazing.
It's almost like when they changed hands to Disney, the guy who's in charge of the marketing and also licensing, they're like, yeah, anybody. Mm-hmm. But you just have to meet this check or this money. This amount of money, you can do whatever you want.
We'll let you use our name.
Like, it's literally on everything.
They're marketing gurus, but will it backfire on them, Richard? Will it make people go like, okay, I can wait. I'm not going to try and get there the first day. I'm just going to wait on it.
What's interesting about intellectual properties like Star Wars is it has such an ingrained part of everyone's past 30 years' life. Mm-hmm. And the longevity of the brand name Star Wars, it's either going to go bigger or it's going to get fizzled out because the way they actually make the core of it, like the movies. Because to me, releasing a Star Wars movie every year is going to dilute what I like about it.
Oh, yeah.
And especially with the product placement, like I'm literally tired of seeing Star Wars stuff everywhere, like toothpaste on like every commercial.
Exactly.
But the worst thing about it is it's not even creative. It's just like, here's our car. Star Wars is coming out December 18th, just to let you know. I'm like,
it
man.
It doesn't correlate at all.
It just doesn't connect. And I'm like, man, okay, like, I get it. Yeah. And, but I think it won't backfire at all because there's no one else competing against the movie during Christmas. Mm-hmm. And Christmas in the movies has always been a big deal.
Yeah.
Money-wise, because you want to release the bigger movies that you want to cash in on during Christmas or Thanksgiving if they're not Oscar contenders, because that's the season to release a movie that you're going to have in the theater for a long time, because you got all the way to basically February, every weekend till February to keep that movie number one. So Star Wars, no one's going to compete with it money-wise. And then long, like down the road, you got DVDs, and the worst thing about it is they're going to re-release all the other Star Wars with this Star Wars as a set.
Yes, they are.
And it's just going to like, I don't know how people buy that stuff. And like, I know I was caught in, but the only reason I bought it again was it came with the original versions.
But doesn't it?
So,
yeah, but haven't you seen a lot of times I think would it be the millennialists that would love it because they can take their children, they're old enough to have children now, and sit them down and binge watch all of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you can do that with a lot of other movies.
Sure, but with as many as Star Wars has.
Well, there's some movie like James Bond has more movies than Star Wars,
right?
And that will be something that you could binge watch. I mean, think
how long this is going to take, because this is going to be a 3-hour show. Their shows are always longer. The Star Wars usually were longer, right?
Not really.
I thought they usually had a little bit longer.
I'll check the runtime.
Okay, but 3 hours for this one, correct? This one's supposed to be 3 hours.
I don't know. It's funny. I was watching an interview with George Lucas talking about how he compared, them taking the reins, and he basically compared it to like breaking up with a girlfriend, because he's like, when we were talking about it, I wanted to tell a story, but they wanted to please the fans. So like when you're writing something, he just wanted to write a story,
right,
and just do a creative story on its own. didn't really care about anything else but what he wanted.
Right.
And not in a bad way at all. That's a creative person right there.
Right.
And that's what sparked the original creativity, like the original Star Wars right there.
I thought it was when he did that first.
So the thing I'm afraid of is Disney's going to make a movie just like Marvel does all their Spider-Mans. And like, right. It's not for the real hardcore fans. It's just going to be like, it's just a fun movie to go take your kids to. And someone's going to say, like, it's not going to have.
I'm afraid they're going to dilute the impact.
I want to see a dude kiss his sister. That's what I want to see.
Did he never look?
Yeah, they kissed. Oh yeah, they totally made out. They totally made out in the first one. But no, but that's what I'm afraid of, because like when I go see Spider-Man, like I really like comic books when I was younger, and I really like the stories. Like Batman's one of my favorite comic book characters ever, or character in general. But like the way they did the movies and stuff, it's just kind of funny where you're like, man, they really could have gotten that a lot better. But especially the what do you call it? The Avengers. The Avengers get out of here. Like that. Those movies. Oh,
I like those.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. They have a formula to make them appealing to the masses.
Yeah, that aren't hardcore. Yeah,
and I'm not saying like, oh, they changed the color of the suit or something like that. I'm talking about the characters and things like that.
Outside the nerd factor.
Yeah, I mean, like, and it's just kind of like, really, that's how you're going to use that person? And
see, now, when are you going to go see Star Wars? When is your set date?
I'm probably going to see it in January.
In January,
because I'm going to take my nephews.
Yeah,
and I really don't want to deal with people when I'm hanging out with my nephews, because I want to hang out with them. I don't want to don't wander over there, because they'll wander. They're around that age. They're around 5 and 7.
Oh boy!
And so it's just they'll wander. And when you have those kids, like it's better them not to have distractions.
But what about you taking them and being distracted by them saying, "Hey, Uncle Richard, what does that mean?" They call you Uncle Richard or Uncle Dick?
Uncle Dick.
Okay. But while you're sitting there watching the movie, they got to go to the bathroom, they got to get more food and all that kind of stuff. I'm surprised you don't want to go by yourself.
Well, I don't see. That's the strange thing about, like, I saw all the 1, 2, and 3 opening nights and stuff like that, and I did it, and I got it, but I don't care that much. Like if I had an option to pirate it, I would probably pirate it.
Would you really?
Yeah.
And not go and be with everybody and
I'd rather just pirate it.
That feeling of that. Well, of course, Samuel wants to go. Cindy could care less, but he really wants to go, and so trying to figure out what is the day, what is the time. Wait till so many weeks. But if you wait too long, it's like Spectre. Didn't you feel like you waited too long to go see Spectre with your friend on Black Friday?
No, we didn't even end up seeing it.
Oh, you didn't?
Because I was working. I was here. I couldn't get off.
So you still haven't seen it?
No. Movie. It's strange to me in like the evolution of the way I watch movies, because Netflix, when Netflix first came out on DVD, I was able to watch all the older films I've always wanted to see on DVD. So that was like my monthly consumption of movies. Was I get 4D? I got like the max you could get, because I watched these movies immediately when I got them, and they're like older films and then newer films too sometimes. But when we go to the theater, there's really I don't want to make the time to go to the theater. I'd rather just let it come to me while I'm doing something else. Or
boy, well, you've grown up. You're more mature than I am.
Well, it's the same thing with that. Well, it's also the same thing with video games. Like, I don't buy new video games. I'm playing video games made 10 years ago still.
Oh, are you
and
really?
Just because I just don't have the time, and then it's the way it's going to be for.
So when you have children, it's going to be so fun to watch you with children, and your own children. And see how you think you're going to be different with your own children, because I guarantee you are. I'm just wondering, do you?
How do you mean different? Like, is it bringing them to the movies and things like that?
Not just your whole feeling about what you do, and you're going to be so excited to see this through their eyes, and it's going to be so fun with your own children. So it's going to be interesting to watch you with that.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how entertainment's presenting, because I honestly think the bigger players like Amazon and Netflix are going to keep upping their game until one of them goes broke.
Yeah, right.
And producing their own content. Because actually, the guy who the CEO of Netflix announced a week ago that their goal by 2017 is half the content on Netflix is theirs. Is their own content. So it's going to be kind of like become an HBO basically, and you're just paying a service for HBO, which is it's somewhat interesting, because I mean you have the creative minds, and they're migrating towards Amazon and not TV anymore. And
that is so true.
Or normal TV.
That's got to be weird for everybody though to see that.
It's happened before. It happened with cable.
Yeah.
Cable had that transition when cable first came out. Like, writers were changing ships because either the money was better or they had more creativity or like creative freedom, I guess.
Yeah.
But same thing with movies. Like, The Ridiculous Six is a movie with bigger players in it, but it's only for Netflix. So it has Adam Sandler. Basically, they let Adam Sandler make a movie. That's really Happy Productions. Everyone likes, for some reason, everybody likes Adam Sandler movies. And Netflix just goes, hey, we'll give you a bunch of money. Make one of your silly movies. And so he did.
You don't like Adam Sandler?
Well, his newer stuff sucks.
What you mean,
like Pixel and all that kind of stuff? Like, that's not, to me, that's just cheesy, and it's trying to cater to everybody. And
he's calm.
It's afraid to do anything different. That's really what it is.
He is calm so down with the children. More children. He started having children. You just start seeing a whole different, a different Adam Sandler.
I mean, you get stuff like that one movie he was in where he had cancer and it was directed by Judd Apatow, Funny People.
Yeah.
And to me, you see the range he's got, but the movies he makes.
Right.
I mean, you look at his earlier stuff like Happy Gilmore. I mean, that's a classic movie. He'll never make another movie like that again.
Happy Gilmore, yes.
Because you'll get people like my parents who've seen all his newer stuff, and it's like, oh, he came out with another movie, and then you go see this. Yeah, and that's what. But he's also
he was filthy in a lot of stuff, and but what's so cool about him is, and like Little Nicky. But if you see that the same people are in his movies, they play different parts of those.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
His cohorts. I think that's great. I got to remind people that coming up in our next segment will be Carolyn Stephenson, CPA Guru, who has helped and saved millions of dollars for her clients over the years, and it is just they love her because she can go in and she takes IRS to task. And she's from Lubbock. She is my sister, and that has nothing to do with it, though, because I usually give her fodder for being able to talk to people about what you don't do with taxes and money and stuff. And we're going to talk about why there is a bad PR for women about how they handle money. What is the deal with it, and why have I contributed to those statistics? And so it's going to be that. And I know you'll have something to say, Richard, right? And if you have any tax questions to ask, think about it right now, what you want to ask her. But you have to Facebook it in. You have to, because she's going to be on the phone from Lubbock. If you want to ask her a question about taxes or anything else about women's role in having a problem with money, let her know. Call us at 936-647-3776.
Well, I don't think we can do that because she'll be calling in.
I meant Facebook. Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Sorry, didn't mean to give you the phone number. No, I said you have to do it through Facebook. You have to Facebook me. The Cindy Cochran Show.
That's why you're giving the phone number out?
Yeah. I thought that would really confuse people. Yes.
Okay, yes. So I want to kind of wrap that up about the movies stuff real quick.
Oh, okay.
See, what's funny to me, like the Adam Sandler stuff, and so he came out with a movie a couple years ago called The Cobbler.
Yes, yeah.
And that movie was awful.
It was.
It was
really
completely
was.
awful.
I couldn't watch it.
And what's really funny to me is you sit there and you're like, man, this movie is just so crappy. And then you see who directed it. And this director has only directed a couple movies, but like he directed one of the newer movies that you've been talking about called Spotlight.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, but like it's getting really great reviews.
I want to see that before it goes away.
And he did that, and he did this movie back in, I think it was like 4 years ago, called The Visitor, which is really good.
Right.
But it's just funny that you see like Adam Sandler is tied to this talent, and somehow like I just don't know how it works. I don't know how that
he's gotta go toward a certain level of viewership, and he knows what they want and what they like, and then he knows that there's other levels. But who gets the most money, the quickest money? Like Transylvania was on forever. Especially 2 was so much better.
Well, that's one thing I see bigger companies doing is like, for example, the Marvel Universe. They have the cash and they can get anyone like Kate Blanchett has been signed on to do the Thor 3.
Has she really?
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm thinking to myself, why on earth would she want to tag herself with Thor 3?
Well, no one's ever going to look at her anyway because they're going to be looking at Thor. I'm sorry.
Well, they're probably going to be looking at some makeup they're going to. They haven't announced what character she's going to play, but I'm like, it's just kind of funny to me that they had that kind of cash power and be like, you probably just have to come in for 3 weeks and here's some money.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
Make our movie a little better because Thor 2 sucked.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just eye candy for women. He's so cute, and it doesn't matter. I don't think they were trying to make him a character that he could do in comedy.
Well,
comedy
he's
roles.
a god in the movie, and he's supposed to look like he was chiseled out of stone. Like,
and he
that
does.
was the whole thing.
He does. They did well. They cast well for that. That was good. I like that. No,
I
so
can't wait
cute.
till that actor's like 62 and he's fat and it's like, what happened? He's gonna be on those tabloid things like, look what he's doing to himself.
Oh, you don't know how many women look at other women that are just amazing looking and go like, I can't wait for just another 20 years.
I never told you I met Mayor Parker.
No. Oh, you did?
I didn't know it was her.
Oh.
I was kind of funny. She comes in and is like, let's take a picture. And I'm like, who just comes up to people and says, let's take a picture? And then after they all left, I saw these Secret Service people. I'm like, who the heck was that?
Wow.
And it turned out to look at the picture. I was like, oh, that looks like the mayor.
In fact, in our last segment, we're going to talk about some claims that are outrageous about women and obesity. Hey, we're going to be right back with Carolyn Stephenson and talk about women and money. Don't go away.
Conroe now has another first. The Cindy Cochran Show. Mornings at 10 a.m. on irlonestar.com.
Our community's animal shelters cannot absorb accidental litters of kittens and puppies. Approximately 80% of the animals entering our shelters will not make it out alive. Please help be a part of the solution. Please spay and neuter your pets. Many low-cost options are available. Visit texaslittercontrol.org to learn more. That's texaslittercontrol.org. And remember, real Texans don't litter. Please spay and neuter your pets.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
I'm Lieutenant Bob Berry with the Conroe Police Department, reminding you that drinking and driving do not mix. Drinking and driving causes an alcohol-related fatality every hour in the United States. Stay sober and stay alive.
The Cindy Cochran Show. Real Reality Radio.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. It is Friday. Oh, yeah, and people are just ready to get out there and just enjoy the weekend. Now, listen, guys, who I have on the phone right now is the one and only Carolyn Stephenson, CPA Guru in Lubbock, Texas. Now, she not only in Lubbock, but all around. And to introduce her, they've got this, this write-up on her. And it fails. I mean, it pales really in comparison to who she is. But Carolyn Stephenson, CPA, is a local tax preparer at Robinson, Burdett, Martin, and Seawright. And it's located in Lubbock, Texas, as I said. And she's a CPA, and other tax preparers located in Lubbock, Texas will help you with your tax preparation, tax planning, bookkeeping, estate, and trust taxes, and so much more. And so, Carolyn Stephenson, good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for being here. Yes, Carolyn is my sister, and she uses. You've been known to use some of the things that I have done incorrectly in handling money, haven't you? To your advantage in bringing, some lightheartedness to your talks, right?
Yes, Cindy is a perfect example of everything you should not do with your money. And one time she was audited by the IRS, and I had to represent her. And her information that she gave me to verify her expenses was on a Raggedy Ann calendar. So that just shows you the IRS is very flexible and can be very compassionate.
Oh yes. Yeah, I wish I'd have been in that meeting. But, yeah, so things that have happened, along the way has helped Carolyn understand the people that aren't as left-brained as you are. And I only mean that in a mathematical way, but that she can compute and understands and is passionate and is so structured that it's no problem for you. But for somebody like me, it's just that, we're just not wired that way.
Well, I spent all day yesterday in the updated seminar on taxes. Taxes change constantly, and
right.
It really does keep your brain active and young and progressive. And I'm getting ready to start my 56th tax season, so I do have a passion for it.
Yes, and she started when she was 12. It is just amazing. 56 years of dealing with numbers and with the IRS especially. But you have such an advantage, Carolyn, because Carolyn is about 4'11", beautiful, black, dark hair, and just gorgeous. And her got a great body. Oh my word! And not for her age, she's always had a great body. But she is, she is.
Okay, I can tell you're missing the point of interviewing somebody that wants to give the public some tax knowledge.
But I'm setting you up for understanding that you walk in with such an opposite, expectation of the people who are there waiting to talk to you. Are you going in and talking to them? And when you open your mouth and just let all that information fly, it's just the respect that you command when you walk into any kind of meeting. And that's why Sam and all his friends love for you to do their taxes, because they know you can take the IRS to school, correct? You're supposed to say, of course.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, when it comes to dealing with the IRS, I have a lot of respect for the IRS, and they're very powerful. And we try to be in total compliance with the IRS, but there are a lot of laws and a lot of tax issues that the average person is not aware of, and sometimes the IRS is not even aware of it.
Oh, really?
And there are many things up for interpretation, so a lot of times you need a professional to help you walk through those issues, especially if you're contacted by the IRS to be audited. That's why the IRS has such incredible powers, because taxpayers many times communicate with the IRS on their own, or try to do it on their own, and find that it's a very confusing world, and they normally expect the IRS to know all and be fair and to do the right thing, and probably 75% of the time that's right, but you never know if you're going to get a hold of that 25% of the IRS personnel that really either they're on a power trip, or they don't really understand the law, or they don't understand some of the interpretations or flexibility that's in the law.
Well, there are commercials out there that say, if the IRS is calling and harassing you, be sure and call our company and we'll help you through this. But I remember you telling me that if someone calls me and says they are the IRS, that's probably not true, because they're not supposed to contact through phone, only through mail.
Yeah, and that's a very good point, Cindy, that people need to be aware of. And I have a phone number that people can call. If they happen to be called by someone and they say they're from the IRS and they're going to put them in jail if they don't send $5,000 to this bank account type thing, or electronically transfer money to blah, 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 it is definitely a fraud scam. And the IRS, unless you have moved where the IRS wouldn't have your address, they contact you by mail first, and they will attempt to call you possibly directly, and they may even come to your front door with with and they would have identification to that would confirm they were from the IRS. But one of the reason that you would get in that position is because you had not been paying your taxes or filing your tax returns.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that you filed your tax returns, if you haven't gotten any kind of notice from the IRS, any letters of any sort, then you can be pretty well assured that the call is fraudulent. And you can report that call to the IRS. You can call the IRS directly to confirm it, but you usually have to wait on the phone a long time, and it can be very frustrating. But the IRS does have a phone number you can call for reporting any kind of call that you receive that you don't think is legitimate. You want me to give you that number?
Sure, yes, of course.
It's 1-800-366-4484.
1-800
366 4484.
4484. Okay. All right. Good. Because we always love to give information like that, especially to our listeners.
One of the things in this update seminar I had gone to that people need to be aware of, especially those traveling, is the IRS is putting a new program in place to where if you owe over $50,000 to the IRS and you've not set up an installment agreement with them, they can take your passport. So if you are traveling or you have a passport and you're traveling abroad, you can be stopped from leaving the country, and it can even complicate you returning to the country if you're out and this program is put in place. So you need to be very sensitive to the IRS. You should never ignore the IRS. That's the first mistake people make.
Right.
They get a notice from the IRS, and they'll say, "Oh, I filed that return. I don't know why they're saying I didn't," or "Oh, I don't know what they mean. I paid that," and just ignore it. Or they haven't filed their tax return because they couldn't pay the balance on the taxes that were due from the preparation of the tax return. And so they just think it's going to go away. Well, the programs the IRS are putting in place where they're putting more and more pressure on anyone that pays you anything in any form, W-2, 1099, contract labor, cash under the table, and all that kind of stuff that people have been doing. The IRS is putting more and more pressure on any time anyone pays you for any work done, that they have to report that under a 1099, even if you're not their employee. And the pressure is that if you don't report it properly, that you then don't get a tax deduction for it. So if you have a business and you have some independent contractors that come in and do work for you on a short-term basis, or whatever the scenario might be, you can still, and you want to claim the deduction you're paying them for their business service to you, you've got to issue them a 1099. There are some rules on who has to do that and who you have to do it to, but you never go wrong getting W-9s from anybody that does any work for you, and that W-9 will give you their name and Social Security number, and they may even check the box that they're going to take care of their own taxes. Mm-hmm. In that case, all you have to do is issue them a 1099 with that information that you have. And there's the penalties for not reporting the proper documents have been multiplied by 5 and 12 times.
Oh, man.
So if it used to be $100, now it's $500 to $1,200. They're getting very aggressive and very punitive in their penalties to force people to file those 1099s, because then they turn around and match it up to see if that person reported that as income.
Boy, they really are clamping down. I'm so glad that you were there to help us. I don't know what we would do, and I know Sam doesn't know what he would do about that. There's also though things politically, like do you guys stay up with, or what are y'all sent about, like, let's say Obamacare, where it's supposed to help the poor people, and that if they're paying, like $200 a month for their Obamacare, that then they're going to get a check for, like to help compensate what they've been having to pay all year. Is that still in? I mean, do you deal with that as well?
Well, the Obamacare penalties for not having insurance are going to be fully implemented in 1/1/16. There's been a lot of adjustment periods of trial and error. The pressure is going back on the employer to provide health insurance for their employees.
Right.
And what's happening is that the insurance companies and or the employers are having to issue these forms called 1094 A, B, and C, 1094s and 1095s, that basically report to the IRS what has been provided for you in terms of insurance. And when you go out in the marketplace to look for insurance, if your income range is determined by your household. So if you go out in the marketplace and you say that there's 2 people in your household and your whole household income is between the range that's provided that qualifies, mm-hmm. and you go and they give you a subsidy or you get an insurance quote and you're covered under the premiums, and then you file your tax return and your tax return does not reflect what you based your premium, your credit on, right. Then you have to pay that back.
Hey.
So it's and it's a very complicated process because the IRS bases what you can claim. Like, for instance, what you can claim in 2015 is based on your 2014 scenario. Mm-hmm. So if in 2014 your household income was $20,000, but when you file that would mean you qualified for Obamacare and you qualified under the marketplace, and it could even mean if your income's low enough into the poverty level, you're not penalized for not having health insurance. So when you file your tax return, if you can't demonstrate that you were covered under health insurance, then you're penalized. Last year it was like $195 a month person. So it can be a pretty punitive penalty. Well, for the individual.
Well, that's what punitive. I love that word. See, she knows so much about this stuff, and even into the outside of just of what companies would need to know. It's what the people out there need to know. But Carolyn, we're going to get back and we're going to talk about after this break about what women need to know about money, so we can get out of this PR mess that people think that women can't handle money. We'll be right back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Don't go away.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the most opinionated talk show on radio.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids removed from their home because of abuse and neglect. And we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
Lone Star Internet Radio is now bringing you the weekly business hour show each Monday morning at 11 a.m. My name is Rick Schisler, and I will be your host. Each week we will be bringing you local, area, and national business news that you can use. The program will also feature an interview with a local or national business person who will share their own experiences, successes, and failures in operating their businesses. Our show is for anyone who already owns a business, whether they work solo or have employees, and for those who are thinking about starting their own businesses. A bit of information about myself. Again, my name is Rick Schisler, and I am a Silver Fox advisor who has over 40 years' experience as a serial entrepreneur. As a part of our show, I will offer some advice and encouragement on our monthly topic, and I will take your questions by email at rschisler@silverfox.org or called into the station at 936-647-3776. See you on the radio Monday at 11 a.m. for the weekly business hour.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
The Conroe YMCA's benchmark adaptive programming for kids and adults is Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith is an equine-assisted therapy program serving children and adults with adaptive needs. The riders in our Leap of Faith program are working to address and manage specific aspects of their lives impacted by illness, injury, or disability. The Leap of Faith program has experience working with riders who are living with attention deficit or other hyperactivity disorders, hearing impairments, visual impairments, developmental delays or disabilities, autism, Down syndrome, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, head traumas, brain injuries, and paralysis. Our program uses horseback riding to develop self-confidence and self-esteem, to increase upper and lower body strength, assist in respiratory issues, and establish a trusting relationship between the rider and their horse. Not only do these activities aid in the physical and mental development of the rider, but they also foster self-reliance and independence. For more information regarding our program, to become a rider, or to volunteer with a great group of people, please call our Welcome Center at 936-441-9622 or visit our website at www.ymcahouston.org/Conroe.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. It is Friday, and it is so exciting to be here with you. Thank you for listening. We have on the line Carolyn Stephenson, CPA, and why she's so special to me is because she's my sister, and I have just watched her, just observed how many people she has helped, and what has been an amazing, amazing transformation from people's lives because she got in there and she set them straight on what to do. Carolyn, welcome back.
Thank you.
See, she's just like me. She has a lot to say. Anyway, so we've been talking about, and Carolyn brought up the point that we really need to understand, especially older people. A lot of times you get a call from the IRS, and it's devastating. I was on the way to Dallas, and I get a call, and I go, I don't recognize that number, but hello? And this guy goes, hi, I'm with the IRS. And from my knees down, I had no feeling in my legs after he said that, because I thought, what? I had never gotten a call from the IRS. And he starts going on. I said, listen, I need to have you talk to my sister. And he goes, talk to your sister. I said, well, I mean, she's our CPA, and talk to her. And he goes, oh, well, okay, well, and I said, what's your number? And he wouldn't give me his number. So then I'm going to call my sister. And I said, this isn't real, right? And she goes, no, they shouldn't be calling you. But that's what, it's just, it makes people very afraid. So she's saying, if you get a call and you pay your taxes and all that, you don't have to respond to that. You need to call the IRS, find out if this is real, if this is a real thing, so that so you don't get caught up in some scam or something like that. So I appreciate that information. But you know me, Carolyn, and numbers and all, but I like the emotional part of the interview. You have talked about how bad I am with money and all. Am I the only one out there that's bad with money as a woman?
Well, I don't. Do not say you're bad with money because you're a woman. I mean, you're bad with money because you're Cindy Cochran. Don't blame that on the womanhood of the world.
I can't play the woman card? Thanks.
No, you're undisciplined.
Oh.
I mean, do you want me to tell them why you're bad with money on the air?
Sure, this is transparency here. Go ahead. Uh-oh.
Well, for people like you that are undisciplined, you have to remove all options. I mean, with somebody like you, somebody that's responsible in your family, which I know to be Sam, needs to hand you $20 every day as you walk out the door, and that's the only access you have to any money whatsoever. And the $20 can only hope that you fill the gas tank up first, which you probably won't. You'll go straight to the show and spend it on popcorn and a movie, and there may be $5 left over to put gas in the car to get back home to get your next 20.
Man, that's harsh. I know you don't talk that way to your clients. It's real, but do you have to tell your clients stuff like that ever? Do you have to say,
no,
here's your
because
problem?
most of my women clients are business women, and they're very disciplined and very creative. Even the creative ones don't do what you do. And I know you're very creative. I know that you're a very creative person, and we all respect that, and that's the only reason that you still have food and clothing today is because your husband loves you and will take care of you and feels responsible for you.
Oh, my word. Carolyn, I'm glad you were able to get this off your chest.
Well, you call me.
That's right. No.
Don't call me for any reality shows. You don't want reality.
No. I know. I appreciate that. And you have, and you're such a great, example. And Sam is always saying, "Why can't you be more like your sister?" And I understand that. But I said, "Yeah, but I bet she couldn't, edit a video together or something."
And you're very fortunate because you're very talented and you can do incredibly creative things, and what you see, very few other people see, and that's why everybody loves you so much. And you should just be very thankful you're married to a disciplined person that can still provide the fundamental clothes and food and shelter and car with gas in it and so forth.
No, I am totally blessed. You're exactly right. But I think that I always just kind of felt comfort in that women had such a PR problem with money, and that it was in movies and it was in all kind of stuff that they would make fun of the woman taking care of the money, and that she had no sense about money. And so I just wallowed in that and felt like I wasn't alone. But I know through the ages that women have gotten a lot better about that. And all the women that, women I talk to, I'm just like amazed when they start telling me about what they're doing and how well they do and how well they do with the money. And I do also know that about the rumors that men would turn the money over to the woman and let the woman take care of the house and pay all the bills and give him an allowance, correct?
Right. It's a very smart couple that really can analyze the relationship they have and the talents they bring to the marriage, or really in any partnership, any arrangement where you have to depend on someone else. It's really smart. Instead of fighting each other, you really defer to each other, and if one has the ability to save and manage money and do a budget and plan for the future, they should be the one in charge of the money. I've never really seen it. I've never really known it to be strictly one way or the other. It depends on the temperament and personality of the man or the woman. I know women that are more frugal than men could ever imagine. Some men just blow everything they get their hands on, and some women do the same thing. But if you're married to someone and they have the better sense of management and discipline and so forth, they should be the one that writes the checks and takes care of it, no matter who makes the money.
Right.
The husband may be a great money maker, but he can blow it all because if it was all left to him, he'd go on a trip or buy a gun or go hunting or go do something before he'd blow the money before paying the rent or the house note and so forth. And that can be man or woman.
Well, we know Sam. You're right. Sam is not like that at all. I mean, there's nothing about him like that at all. And he goes into retirement, and now this money is coming in, like on a regular basis, and he now says, "See, this is why I wouldn't let you buy this or that, and that, because we were saving up for this time in our life." But I thought he was going to change retirement. I thought it was going to be like, "Okay, let's party." No. That doesn't happen. He's still as disciplined as ever. So
because he's smart enough to know he does not know how long he's going to live or you're going to live.
Right.
because that's the unknown factor in retirement, and that's what everyone fears. They don't know how long to work, for how much they need to save that will last until they die. And they don't have to rely on their children, who they've been probably paying things to the children's lives. So they can't really rely on the children necessarily to support them if they run out of money before they die.
Because all our children took after me.
Yeah.
so he's afraid.
Maybe there's a genetic code for people that can manage money and people that can't.
Yeah.
And I mean, my experience, I've never seen it to be genders. I mean,
specific.
It be all women or all men. I see it more just in the personality and background and how you were raised. And some people never had access to money, and like people that win the lottery. There are some people, when they win the lottery, they do incredibly good things with it. There's other people, when they win the lottery, it goes to their head. They blow it. They spend it on everything. They give it to everybody, and they have they go into bankruptcy. They have nothing. More money. Here's a rule that you can see how well this is applied even to our government. More money never answers money problems. It's the discipline of money that answers money problems.
There you go.
Look at our government. It makes money.
That's right.
And it just gets more and more in debt.
Right.
Cindy, if you were allowed to spend any and every all the world's money,
yes,
I have no doubt that you could probably manage to blow it in. I'd maybe give you 6 months.
You know, I love that movie, Brewster's Millions, where he had to have spent this $30 million or whatever within so many days. That always just fascinated me. I kept feeling like I could do this. I could do this. I could do that movie. But listen, Carolyn, we are now past our time. Rats! I'm so glad to get to talk to you. I don't care what you say about me. Just to hear your voice, I'm so happy to hear your voice.
I did say you were very talented.
Yes, you did. In fact, I'm going to play the archive of this. Yes, I'm going to play the archive of this radio station over and over just for that part alone. It was so. No, you're so sweet. You're so giving, and I just appreciate you so much and love you so much. And wait till Sam hears this. He's going to love this. This will be on an archive on the Cindy Cochran Show Facebook page, and we'll let you know, everybody, when Carolyn gets to be on, so you can listen again to the pearls of wisdom being thrown to the swine. Thank you very much. Listen, Carolyn, thank you so much, and get back to your busy day in helping people save money.
Okay.
Love you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.
Yeah. So we'll be right back, guys, right after this on the Cindy Cochran Show. Don't go away.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Are you interested in learning more about preparing quick, healthy, and safe meals for your family? Would you like to spend time with others learning tips and tricks, along with practicing and tasting nutritious food? If so, the On the Road to Healthy Living Mobile Cooking School is for you. Call Amy Ressler at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service at 936-539-7825 to find a class near you or volunteer to host a class.
Tune in every Sunday night right here on Lone Star Internet Radio for adventure, romance, thrills, chills, and everything vintage radio drama can bring. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour comes to you every Sunday at 7 p.m. with brand new episodes monthly. Our productions always feature actors, music, and sound effects performed completely live. And now you can enjoy seeing each new episode performed on stage at the Owen Theater in Conroe. Check out www.irlonestar.com for information about upcoming episodes. Relive the glory days of vintage radio drama right here with the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour on Lone Star Internet Radio.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
At Jazzy Junk, volunteers reclaim, restore, and recycle. Jazzy Junk is a non-profit resale storefront where you will discover wonderful, unique finds at very affordable prices on furniture, antiques, books, art, home decor, and more. When you shop Jazzy Junk, you support New Danville, a community for adults with developmental disabilities. We receive new donations daily, so plan a visit to Jazzy Junk today to find that perfect item or gift. Our motto is here today, gone today, so remember to hurry in and shop often for the best selection. Jazzy Junk is located in the outlets at Conroe on League Line Road and I-45 North. Call 936-441-4500 or visit our website, jazzyjunk.org, that's Junque, for more information and store hours.
The Cindy Cochran Show. Even if these walls could talk, they couldn't get a word in edgewise.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Thank you so much for listening. And I know if you were able to catch the first part of Carolyn's interview, my sister, she's a CPA in Lubbock and has helped so many people I can't tell you, and saved millions of dollars for these people, and that's literally millions of dollars for these people. And so anyway, she has a lot of good information because she just went to an update for CPAs and what the IRS is now going to do, and she's talking about how strict the IRS is starting to get on people who that take, when you take advantage of the things that you can take off of for your work and things like that, and they're gonna make sure that you have verification of that, and that's what she's always been on my back about, is about not the receipts and the confirmation of why I am asking to take this money off because I am using it for work. It's work related or whatever it is, and charity and all that stuff. So it's interesting, and hopefully we'll have her back to talk about things that are going on. Listen, we have got, archives that you guys have got to listen to. Like yesterday, if you dare, you can listen to Dennis O'Connor coming up on archives, and we've had lots of people that through the last week that are very interesting, so you guys can binge listen. If you're just joining the Cindy Cochran Show, binge listen to all these great people and talented and informative things that we try to share every single day. You guys can come to my Facebook, The Cindy Cochran Show, and share suggestions of even people that you want on the show or questions that you have. Please do that. And you can at any time listen to archives of previous shows on YouTube.com and SoundCloud.com, IRLoneStar.com as well. So listen, guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. So much to do that's going on around town. And we hope you have a good time. Be safe. Be happy. Remember, God has got this. God loves you. And, make somebody happy. You're going to be so much happier. See ya. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. Any comments, suggestions of topics, email me at thecindycochranshow@gmail.com. Also, check out my Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show. Join me live Monday through Friday. See ya.